What's up, guys? I'm kind of excited for this one. I know I'm a little late to the punch, but I've got a new toy, the Prezi Beam Cutter. It's not very often that I get to get a new toy because I kind of have all of them, so at this point I'm just buying redundancies. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to install it on this Mag 77 that's kind of just been gathering dust for quite a few years. Hopefully this thing can bring it back to life. I'll show you how to do that, what tools I used. Then we'll do a couple of test cuts into a 4x6 Versalam, which is probably the highest demand material I have on hand. And we'll see how it goes. Getting right into it, we got the beam cutter, the saw, and the tools. So we need a 5/32 Allen wrench. We need a little screwdriver for the snap ring, a little chisel just because this thing can be welded onto yours, a number 14, a 1/2 inch, and a number 12. And then actually a T20 just in case this little nub here needs to come off. But to get started, you pop this right off. Then you just got to take this snap ring in here off, and it likes to spin on you. Obviously, I gave this a whirl off camera to just make sure this was going to go smooth. So I pinch it with the chisel, and then we're just going to do our best to get in there with the little screwdriver and hopefully get under it like that. And then that should just pop out for us if it wants to. All right. Now, we got to get this out, obviously, but the issue is that I found with this particular saw was I couldn't find an access for this spring. So we're just going to cut it because I have the utmost confidence that this beam cutter, even though it's new to me, it's been out for a very long time, and I trust that this is going to be a successful endeavor. So I know that hurts some of you, but it is what it is. So we're going to take this little secondary arbor that they send, or replacement rather. That's all we got to do there. Then we're just going to feed this Larry up and in, and this is where we're going to figure out if we need to take that off or not right there. And it looks like we do not have to take that off, so we're just going to take our new longer reverse thread bolt and double check the threads because I'm dumb. We're just going to send that home, and we shall take, this is where the 14 comes into play. We'll give that a little snug in right there. Now we'll take the bolts that they send like this. Just going to send these in here. I feel like these could be lock washers or lock bolts, but this will be fine for now. And we're just gonna snug that up. Snug that up. All right, now we just got to square it up, plug it in. But oh, I forgot to mention. So right here, this is where the 5/32 comes in. So they send the chain pretty good, but you can loosen these Allens here, and then press down on this and snug those up. And once these are in, you're actually supposed to tighten these so that those do not want to go anywhere. You can see how loose those were just so that you could get it dialed into your particular saw. And it's looking like we're pretty good. Now we'll check it for square. I'll use my nicest square. And obviously we are way off, which is fine. We can expect that. We'll loosen this up. Give it the old tilt-a-whirl. You know what? I'll dial this in and then get back to you guys. Alright, so what I'm finding I have to do is there's a little set screw right here that calibrates it to 0. So what I'm going to have to do is take it off the 0 that it's always been on and actually go a little bit past that so that I can basically go to like -1 or 2 because that's just the way that the chain itself wants to sit. And now I should be able to get this thing squared up. Nice. That gave me just enough freedom to get it exactly where I want to be. Perfect. All right, let's make some cuts. All right, I think this is gonna be kind of fun. I got my PPE because we're always wearing that on the job site. I actually clamped the square just cause, why not? So we're gonna do a straight cut, then we're gonna check it with the square, and then we're gonna do a miter cut and see how it goes. So let's do it. Very cool. Now I noticed that at the beginning, until the whole bar was in there, it was giving me a little vibration, but you know, I bought it to do basically fairly rough stuff, but you know, to the best of its ability. And wow. Oh, we went a little off at the end there. You know what I think I did was I pushed a little hard, but let's just, yeah, you can see that I pushed a little bit hard. So let's give that another try. I'll slow it down and we'll see how it goes. All right, we're gonna go for round 2 here. And I did just dial it in a little bit extra. I think the issue is that you have such a small area here to square off of and then such a long blade, and the tiniest little micro adjustments here obviously get exaggerated once you get out to here. So we're just going to give this a little bit of a slower college try here, and then we'll go on to the miter. Gotta say, that's very satisfying. Oh yeah, that's dead nuts right there. We got a little bit of the tail off at the bottom towards the end, but that's virtually perfect. Very cool. All right, one more miter. It's going to be a higher demand, and you know this is Versalam. I'm not going to be cutting anything anywhere near as tough as this. Just doing regular fir 5x5, you know, landscape timbers or 6x6 PT stuff for deck support posts. But all right, let's give it a whirl. What's up, Fritz? Where you going? All right, so already right off the bat, I can see that because of the offset, I'm going to need to turn this around to properly follow it. Yeah, we'll go that way. Why not? No one's telling us what to do here. All right, very cool. And I think like anything, it's going to take a little bit of practice to find your touch, you know, in, out, side to side, your feed rate, what you do to counter maybe anything that wants to go off track. But I will take that all day long. Very cool. I gotta say, I got some good first impressions on it. They do sell an 18-inch bar. I don't see myself ever needing that. I'm really happy to give my Mag 77 something new to do. I think it's going to be great for the 5x5 timber, landscape timber retaining walls that I got to do, as well as 6x6 posts on decking. So we'll see how that goes. I'll keep you guys updated on my long-term experience with this. And if you guys have any long-term experiences with this, then I'd love to hear them, whether they're problems or praise that could help anybody that's reading the comments. So, yeah, appreciate you watching. Give it a like if this helped at all, and I'll see you in the next one.